It had taken quite some time, but the house was now finally complete, and landscaping had begun. Pearl had been living there for a few weeks now, and was fairly satisfied with the work. Whatever Gaz and Fujiko were involved in, it seemed to be going well for them, and she was able to spend lazy days gardening or helping out around the house. She enjoyed adding some green to the place. In fact, she was earning a reputation for her vegetables and occasionally made deliveries to the local restaurants. The extra pocket money never hurt, and the chefs were always impressed. The grocers were also happy to accept her produce. Fresh and island grown was better than imported anyway. Pearl also spent some time as a bit of a handywoman around the house, fixing this and that. It wasn't what she most enjoyed, but it wasn't so bad all things considered. Wadsworth, meanwhile, spent much of his days cooking and cleaning and keeping the place shipshape. As a simple man, this kept him fairly content most of the time. And when there wasn't much else to do, he could always sit down with a good book in the newly converted library. Ever since Fujiko had visited the island's base, she had kept an eye on its activities. Now she'd got wind of a delivery of expensive experimental military parts and had managed to get a gang to rob them. The parts would come in handy, and she was sure Gaz would be pleased to have them. The next evening, everyone got dressed up and headed out to the grand opening of the newly constructed Lucky Simoleon Casino. It had been built as quickly and cheaply as possible, thanks to some help from the organization, which was happy to pocket the savings. The joint was kind of dead at the moment, but hopefully things would pick up as the night went on. Everyone headed into the pit to try their luck on the slot machines. Gaz found one in the corner that he thought looked promising. He soon gave thought to rigging the machines. Shortly after, they all moved over to the lounge for some drinks. Fujiko ran into her friend Alice Grantham, and they got to talking. Unfortunately, not much else was going on in the way of entertainment. The casino would have to find a few headliners if it was really going to draw the crowds. The next morning, things were back to normal. Pearl woke up to begin her morning gardening chores. The bunkhouse that she, Wadsworth, and Eli were now staying in was meant to be temporary until Gaz could set up better accommodations. Hopefully that would be soon, because she was looking forward to having an actual room for herself. Wadsworth had gone in to get himself some pancakes for breakfast. He didn't have much to do today, so he thought he'd spend the afternoon at the library. Eli didn't have much going on either, and decided to spend the day watching his new favorite TV show. Something about it mesmerized him. Meanwhile, Fujiko had gone to buy out the Dreams of Paradise day spa. With it, most of the local businesses were now completely owned by Gaz's household, providing several fronts for increased money laundering. Back home, Eli had roped Gaz into watching TV with him. He had to admit the program was somewhat interesting. That night, the moment Gaz had waited for finally arrived, and he stepped into place as the island's new supervillain. His successful plans with the casino and island businesses meant that money was no object. The recent raid on the military equipment had given him plenty of new toys to play with. City Hall was sympathetic to his cause, and Fujiko's own powerful position meant the organization was virtually his to control. The final phase of his master plan was ready to begin. As he walked in the front door, he stopped and looked around. If he was going to have a proper hideout now, he would need a place to put everything.